Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving it energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up from my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah. Phone started jumping, what a day. Swear to God I need it now, I can't afford to wait. I just had a fan hit me up from Kuwait. Told him this would happen and we not a minute late. Seen them down bad, now they tryna hate. Same ones try to hit me for the raise. Got a mill, now they coming with a blaze. Check the numbers fam, I swear I'm getting paid. I'm a Don just like the Perrier. It's one time when I'm looking at a face. On the low like I'm pushing up the bass. Told him come down and I'll meet him at a gate. Got a check and I bought myself a place. They get some money and they blow it on bait. I don't flex but I'm pushing all the weight. Told them all I swear I got it's what it takes. Phone started jumping, what a day. Swear to God I need it now, I can't afford to wait. I just had a fan hit me up from Kuwait. Told him this would happen and we not a minute late.
Yo, Jay, can we get some ratchet one time?
Look, I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop, I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the please. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peace, you gon' see the flex when you hear these writtens. Trust me, you know the difference. I got a long ways to climb before you see a slippage. I see the process and the journey I'm supposed to be, but perplexed, cause I don't really see nobody close to me. Hopefully this ain't wasted and I know it ain't. You gotta take the time for seasoning to marinate. You need the patience and the pressure just to detonate. I'm trying to blow up and these heathens need to get it straight. Gifted with a vision and precision, I'm just trying to make it high key. Might be breaking free like I was Zion in some Nikes. Tucked at the crib, bro, you know just where to find me. Making beats and spitting crack verses pretty likely. Yeah, socks with the burst, boy, I ain't changed a bit. Normal guy till I die, you know what it is. You probably thought I'd give up now that I got some kids, but really now I got these arrows aiming at your ribs. I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop, I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peas. Hey, please be on the notice, these my motives. Bought my chicken and it's rotis. You parsimonious, you take it all cause you a locust. My focus is to grow this mission. A visionary, get a dictionary. We here off the ribbon, we ain't sharing, we just caring. Let me speak it to the manager. We damage her, no you ain't messing with an amateur. I'm ramming, the competition ain't standing up. They fanning from left to right cause now they branded us. Now who that he is. Mike Jones, they ain't want me now. They all on me. Got counterfeits trying to play me. I guess they thinking I'm Sony. These big head dummies showing up and out of their character. Homie, you need a price, cause without it, the squad ain't hearing you. Top of that, we ain't fearing yet. We swinging for the fences with the sting of a left hook that connects with Sonny Liston. I'm dismissing any and all of the disrespect. Nonetheless, it ain't a threat. I'm just letting y'all know who's next. I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the start. I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the P's, you gon' see the...
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On the road, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And guys, we're seeing a little bit of a move down on Bitcoin here, and I'm not going to lie, if you guys stuck around for the end of last night's live stream, I made a phone call. To somebody, maybe my cousin who we nicknamed Tosh. But we made a phone call last night, and I'm just saying, these fake outs are jokes, guys. I don't actually know Satoshi, but my fake cousin, Satoshi, said that he was going to help us out and move Bitcoin, so we didn't have another boring live stream. We needed some fresh price action, and what do you know? Here we are getting a little bit of a move to the downside. Now, I want to cover this move, guys. Is this something we should be worried about? What are those key levels of support that we need to be keeping our eyes on? If you guys saw my market update earlier today, we talked about some of these levels. We showed some of the trades. I want to go over some of that stuff with you guys, and I want to talk about what we are bouncing off of right now. Is this going to be an opportunity to get a move back to the upside, or are we going to see these bearish signals on the higher daily time frames play out as you'd expect, giving us a big move down closer to the bottom of our larger range? So in today's video, or live stream, I guess, we're going to cover all that with you guys. We're going to give you the key levels. I'm going to let you guys know the bullish case and the bearish case, and then I'll let you guys know which way I'm leaning, and we'll go over both my longs and my short trades. Literally sniped the tippy bottom of this trade, of this move to the downside with the premium Discord, so we'll go over that as well. But before we get into it, guys, don't forget to smash that like button. Every 100 likes we get gives you guys some free chances to win some free crypto. So smash up that like button. If we get 550 likes, guys, I'll go ahead and I will give some of these Frankie Candles hats. Not the Bing Bong hats. I don't think we have these anymore, but we'll go ahead and give some of these Frankie Candles hats that we have on the FrankieCandlesTrading.com. But, guys, we got an amazing show for you tonight. Finally got a little bit of a move here. So before we jump into it, let's go ahead and say what's up to the Mafia. Shout out to the Mafia. I'm going to let the GOAT talk for a second here, guys. Not for any specific reason, but just hang on one second. Thank you, GOAT. Thank you, GOAT. I appreciate you for stepping in there for a second. Don't bully me in the chat with those emojis, guys. I'm just kidding. But shout out to Hodl Crypto. What is going on? And shout out to Golden for that super chat. Golden says, I gotta stop popping up. Come on. Show me the super chat. There we go. Golden says, so Frankie, in good faith and concern for your physical and emotional well-being, I've decided I cannot continue gifting memberships while your chair is putting your life and sanity in danger. You need help and a new chair. Shout out to Golden. If you guys saw the Frankie fake out last night, you will know that or was it last night or the night before? I don't even know. Maybe I am losing my mind. But yeah, we've been fighting with this chair. If you know, you know. But anyway, shout out to Golden, the GOAT. What is going on, bro? Thank you for tuning in here with us tonight. We got Johnny December in the chat, not to be confused with Johnny February. Shout out to Johnny December. Multisig Dummy, what is going on, bro? Indeed Long, shout out to Multisig. I hope you are in profit, brother. We got Wick589, OG, what is going on, brother? Wayne C, what is going on? Crypto Maxi, Mark Dutch, we got Valerie in the chat. Hollywood, we got Greg. Greg, we will take a look at Bonk for you tonight, don't you worry. And last but not least, certainly not least, we got B-Rad Crypto and Dark Crash. Don't forget to drink your water. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to Dark Crash. And Tony D with a super chat said, reminder, Bitcoin 2024 pass price increases on Friday. By the way, if you guys do want to save some money, Tony D worked out an awesome deal for the Candle Mafia for you guys to get a discount on your tickets. More information in the chat there. He dropped it from the Frankie Candles account. You guys can check that out. Click that link. Save some money if you guys are going to be out there in Nashville, and we will be there. If you guys are out there and you see us, please, for the love of God, come say hi to us. It's our favorite thing to do. Meet the Candle Mafia. Put some faces to these names. But while we're waiting for Bitcoin 2024, let's go ahead and jump on into these charts and try to figure out what that next move is going to be. Let's get into it. So here we are, guys. This is not necessarily exactly what I wanted to show here, but there is the long position that we're in. Absolutely sniped the bottom of that move, but we will cover this in just a second, guys. But first off, I want to talk about this general move that we've seen to the downside. What does it mean? We'll take off all the TA here, and I do just want to break down the raw price action first, and then we'll move into the actual levels and the trades. So, yo, shout out to you guys with the inhaler emojis, yo. Best crypto community, what is going on? Melissa, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Kalichi in the chat. Let's go. We got everybody in here. Mods are the bomb. Show some love for the mods in the chat, guys. But as we are sitting here, guys, we have gotten this a little spill to the downside now. I know everybody is kind of panicking here. Was this a 5% move? That does seem to be, yep, there it is. That 5% move does seem to cause all the panic. But here we are. Hey, shout out to Wick589. Thank you for that super chat. He says, Steelcase is the best chair. Shout out to you, brother. Hang on one second. Shout out to Wick. Thank you for that, bro. I'm literally going to write this down on my makeshift Post-it. Steel chair. Steel case. Interesting. I'm going to look into that. I like the Secret Labs chairs, but I'm always into checking out the other stuff. But shout out to Wick589. But as we sit here, guys, and we see this move to the downside, the big question is, should we be worried about this move? Is this going to open up the door to come down and give us much more downside? We're going to talk about the bearish case and the bullish case. And again, as always, I'll let you guys know kind of which way I'm leaning. But as, you know, traders, we have to look at both situations. And tonight's live stream is going to be an exact, it's going to be a perfect educational video showing you guys why we need to be open to the bullish and the bearish cases, because you could easily make money, not easily, but you could make money whether price goes up or down, and oftentimes at the same time. So obviously we did get this move to the downside, guys. And first off, let's look at this in the grander context of things, because I like to start my analysis on the higher time frames and then work them down to the lower time frames, right? So overall, guys, we all know. Let me go ahead and hide this local TA, and we will pull up our higher time frame. Whoops. Our higher time frame range. Let me grab all this and drag that into our local folder. Hide the local folder. There we go. And we'll pull up the larger range. Now, as you guys know, yesterday, what we were looking at as far as bearish signals was they were on the higher time frames, right? We had the 2-day red dot was confirmed. The 3-day red dot was printing. And then our 4-day, 5-day, 6-day, and our weekly VWAPs were on the way to the downside, and we were talking about how these signals do oftentimes take time to play out, but typically, when we get these higher time frame red dots, it does give us a move to the downside, and what do you know? We wake up today, we get that move to the downside, and all of those bearish signals that we were anticipating yesterday are now printing on the chart alongside with the expected move down. Now, with that being said, there were some very specific things that we were looking at on the actual TA, making us anticipate, giving us that line in the sand where we could potentially flip a little bit more bearish. Basically, what we were looking at was simply put, right? Not only was it the red dots on the higher time frames, but we also have come up and tested key resistance, which is the value area high of the range. And typically, when we test these levels and we cannot break out, this is typically where we are in danger of getting accepted back into the range. And then where is the next likely place for price to go? Well, simply put, the next place for price to go is more likely than not going to be that POC of the range. Now, we are kind of in decision-making mode right now because, guys, if we do wind up losing this point of control, we could potentially get that bigger move to the downside. Now, one thing I do want to point out is if we do one of the ranges that I was looking at, I must have it pulled to a different candle. One of the ranges that I was looking at did have the POC move up to about 69,250. And when you have those POCs move up, this is pretty important, right? Because if your POC is no longer legitimately down here, you're not really that changes your whole kind of outlook, right? But at this point, I do still think this POC, even if it's not the exact POC I was looking at earlier, this POC still is valid, right? It is simply the midpoint. That's not what this level is based off of. It's the area where the highest volume was traded. However, it is sitting nicely in the middle of this range. And just like when we took the long down here from the bottom of the value area low, this is where we look for price to go up to the POC and the value area high. And in that same exact fashion, guys, we are potentially at danger or in danger of losing that POC and getting the full rotation of the range, potentially bringing us back down to $63,307. Now, is this guaranteed? Absolutely not. But if you watch along and follow along with the channel, you will know these volume profiles do play out more often than they don't. So this is definitely something you want to keep in mind. And in my opinion, this is the bearish case, right? At least in the medium term or within context of the overall, call it the daily, kind of the daily time frame, right? And there is that higher POC. Depending on what time frame you're looking at, these POCs will move around on you. So that is the POC I was talking about, around more specifically $69,543. So to be quite honest with you guys, I am going to be watching both of these points of control as key levels of support and resistance. But if we come on down to the lower time frames, you guys can see that POC does move back down to about $67,000 even. So for the most part, this is the grand context of the of price action right now. We lose this, likely going to go back down to that value area low. But there are also two other key levels that I am looking at, and it simply does sit down here with this Fibonacci golden pocket N786 retracement, because as you guys know, just like when you reject that value area high, the next likely place to go is the POC and the value area low. When you wind up coming down for a golden pocket retracement, if we do wind up getting that, if we lose that golden pocket, we are also going to be looking for a move not only to the value area low based off the volume profile, but also when you lose that golden pocket, it is more likely to get that 786 retracement, which we do have in beautiful confluence here. So these two zones of support are going to be absolutely important, right? I was looking for a more intense word, but these are going to be absolutely super important levels to be watching. The golden pocket is sitting between 64,673, and then your 786 is sitting closer to 62,000. Call it $62,625. So these are the key levels, guys. And again, not much of this has changed. At least the support levels to the downside. We've looked at these levels before, but now we're just at higher risk of potentially seeing these come in. So that is the bearish case, at least in the short term for me. If we continue to move down, guys, these are the key levels to be watching, in my opinion. That does not mean, right, that we're guaranteed to see these levels. So that's kind of the main outlook that I have. Now, taking a look at the indicators here, taking a look at Market Cipher, the 8-hour money flow is now crossing over into the red. Not really what we want to see for continued upside. Your 10-hour money flow is also crossing over into the red, and we do have some of the medium and higher hourly time frames starting to show some bearish money flow, right? 10-hour, 8-hour, the 6 hours also looking to cross over into the red here, 5-hour looking to cross over, and your 4 hours also coming out as well. So we have to anticipate potentially, I am going to be keeping, or not potential, I'm not potentially going to be keeping an eye on this. I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on this, the money flow on these higher hourly time frames, because once we see this start to leak out like it is here on the 10-hour, guys, that is likely going to indicate that we're going to get that bigger move to the downside. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, oh my God, hang on a second, I longed the dip. What should I do? Should I close all my longs? And I will explain that in just a second, guys, because I am scalp long from down here on this wick. I want to break down kind of what I'm looking at with that trade. I talked about it in the market update earlier today, but I want to go through it and show you guys kind of how I'm managing that trade, where I'm looking at for key levels of resistance to take profit, etc. But overall, guys, keep it simple. You have your range between your value area between 71.4 and 63.4, right? Or 63.3, give or take a few bucks there, right? And those are your two major levels of support and resistance, as it is your value area high and value area low. And then your POC sitting at 66,960, almost 67K even, right? And then the higher, I would also keep an eye on this POC sitting at $69,470. Two important levels to have on the chart. But overall, guys, I like to keep it simple. The volume profile makes this super easy to digest. And if we do wind up seeing the move from below the POC back down to the value area low, we will simply come on here and preach the volume profiles. I will scream it at the top of my lungs, guys, because what do we do when we deviate above that volume profile? That's right. We absolutely look for those short positions, as everybody not everybody, but a lot of people try to fake out a lot of people try to trade those breakouts, but they wind up being fake outs at key resistance for a return back into your range to the POC and value area low. And if we see that happen, guys, it's just going to be like, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frank Candles live stream. Here's the volume profile. And that's all we have to do. But that's what we're looking at here, guys, on the higher time frames. Now, I do want to break down this kind of local range here because, as you guys know, we have the longer-term range as well as the local levels that we're looking at for our trades. And now I want to break down this little scalp long that I'm hitting, that we hit this morning, and I want to break down exactly what we're looking at for that trade. So I'm going to hide that. I'm going to pull up that local price action here, and I'm actually going to talk a little bit about the short as well, because as you guys know, I think we talked about this yesterday, we did have a short setup here in the premium Discord. Shout out to the premium Discord or the kitchen. If you guys are interested in checking that out, you can check out FrankieCandlesTrading.com or use the link in the description down below to get more information on how to get into the kitchen or the premium Discord, as some people call it, where I give my spoon-fed trade setups as well as confirmations and daily TA if there is no setups, full of sauce. We also got Darren Does Things as a secondary coach in there, helping out the Mafia with additional setups, not only on crypto, but also Forex. So if you're interested in that, check the link in the description down below. We have extremely competitive pricing compared to other paid Discords. But as we take a look here, guys, simply put, just like we looked at the longer-term value area, right, where you have the value area low and the value area high, where you're looking for shorts on the deviation above and looking for longs on the deviation below. By the way, I am still holding my long from the value area low, and I'm going to cover my trades in just a second. But when we look at this local range here, we can also use this as context into trying to figure out if there is actually a trade to be taken here. So this was the original short setup on Bitcoin. I did not take this. I think we talked about this yesterday. I missed this position, but it was posted in the premium Discord. Let me see if I got it up here. It was posted in the premium Discord where we were looking for, let me see, yeah, we were looking for that move up into that key level. Actually, this one's a little bit cleaner to look at. Move up, push up into that swing failure level, look for the swing failure pattern amongst other confirmations, and that was where we were looking for that short to, first off, play down to the value area high of the range, as well as if we got accepted into that value area high and could not get above that level, we would look for the nuke, right, the quote-unquote nuke, down to the POC value area high. And I do want to kind of point this out for you guys. When you have the POC and the value area low, I think I just said value area high, the POC and the value area low here, when they are close to each other at one end of the range, it does kind of make that end of the range a super magnet, right? Because you don't have the POC in the middle to give you support, right? It's just going to kind of act as a double magnet here, and this is exactly what we wound up seeing, guys. Let me hide this for a second. We wound up getting the SFP. We got the other bearish confirmations. A lot of the Mafia took the trade. I took my short on Ethereum as I missed this entry. I was able to get one on Ethereum, though, and I'll show that trade in a second. We actually talked about it yesterday and why I was willing to hold that Ethereum trade yesterday, which was up $700 or $600. I was talking about why I was willing to hold that position for more gains, and that is now up another 2x, I believe. Or no, I'm sorry. Yeah, almost. It's up about like almost $2,000. We'll talk about it in a second. But what happened here, guys? We took the trade. We went down. We smashed that value area high, and we got stuck within the range. We could not get back above that value area high. And then where's the next place for price to likely go? Very simply put, that's where you look for it to go down to the value area low POC. And then obviously we deviated right into another key level of support, or not even necessarily a key level of support, but a key level to be looking at for a long position. This was also given in the premium Discord. This was like an absolute sniper entry. You guys can see that here. This was this post is all the way from the 5th. We've been waiting for this level as we were before we even got the short position to come in. We were already ready to take this long down here with confirmations, and price came right back down, lost the value area. Everybody's all panicking. Oh my God, how low are we gonna go? But the Mafia saw the confirmations to take that trade, and we absolutely sniped that entry off of an SFP as well as some other market cipher B confirmations, and literally sniped the bottom right on that move. And I am in that trade as well. I will show you guys. This I am treating as a little bit more of a scalp position, as we are technically fighting the local trend right now. So, you know, we have to be aware that we could potentially come up, put in a lower high, and continue down. So I am going to be careful with this long right now, but it is absolutely playing out beautifully right now. And a big reason we entered this trade had to do with the swing failure pattern, where we had our SFP wick down here. And let me just give you guys a little breakdown on why we look for longs down here or on an SFP. I mean, you can look for shorts on an SFP as well. Like, literally, guys, like, could not have asked for better setups here, just because literally short the top off an SFP, got the absolute nuke to the floor, and then get an SFP from the low of the range. If we get back into this volume profile, guys, and we come back up to this value area high, the volume profiles are, in my opinion, they already are, in my opinion, but if we see that happen, the volume profiles are just once again going to prove themselves as one of the most reliable tools that you could possibly use to interpret what this market is going to do next, enter into positions long or short, and make money whether price pumps or dumps. And in this case, guys, I am literally making money on a dump and a pump at the exact same time. So with that being said, I will be treating this as a scalp, and we actually did just hit our first TP here, which is the value area low. As you guys know, when you leave a value area low and deviate below, like you're seeing right here, and we get a bounce, that value area low then flips to very important resistance, right? Because not only is this going to naturally flip into resistance, but this is going to be a good place, in my opinion, to TP, right, or take some profit. And then if we're able to reclaim that value area low, and more importantly, this POC, that's where we can look for that trade to play out a little bit more, bringing us back up to the value area high for a full range rotation. But we do have a lot of work to do, and we are technically hitting some of the important resistance right now, being the value area low. So let me get rid of this line real quick. Let me get rid of some of these drawings. Absolutely perfect. You know, I would love if this thing just yeets right back up here, literally short the top, long the bottom. It doesn't always play out like that, but we'll have to see what happens. But we are seeing that thing hit TP1. Absolutely beautiful. So right now, locally, your key level of resistance is this value area low, coming in at about 67,497. And then, you know, once we flip that to support, I would incorporate the POC here as well. So I would actually make this a range or a box like this, turn it purple, right? And then your key level of resistance is now going to be sitting at 67,888 and 67,456. So once we flip that POC, I mean, obviously flipping the value area low would be somewhat nice to see, but when you have that resistance right above you, you really want to flip that POC as well. So once we crack that level, that is where we'll look for the bigger move to the upside, and I will let that long run. You know, not only did we get the SFP down here, guys, I do want to also point out we had some we have more reasons than one to potentially look for a continued, at least local bounce here. We have our 15-minute putting in absolute, let me hide this short position real quick. We have this 15-minute continued bullish divergences right into our long zone. And then you have the higher lows on your momentum waves. When you have the higher lows on your momentum waves with the lower lows on your price, you guys know that's a bullish divergence. And when that's happening at a key level of support, especially with an SFP, it can make for an extremely saucy trade. Okay, I thought I was getting called by Tony D for a second. I was like, oh my God, have I been muted for 2 hours? But we have these bullish divergences. Not only that, but we also had money flow coming up, looking to cross over into the green. And if we get this money flow crossover into the green on the 15-minute, in my opinion, I do think that could be where we start to see the bigger bounce to the upside, because if we come on over to the 4-hour time frame, look what we have. We have a 4-hour green dot. And we all know, I think a lot of us know here in the chat, when you see those green dots on the 4-hour time frame, the thing that I do instantly is I fly down to that 15-minute time frame, and when I see the money flow on the 15-minute crossing into the green or about to cross into the green with that green dot printing on the 4-hour time frame, that crossover into the green on the 15-minute is typically what gives you that bigger move to the upside. But please remember, we have to break this very key zone of resistance. But it does look like, according to Market Cipher B, as long as this 4-hour green dot confirms and we do indeed get that money flow, it does look good. So once we get that crossover, we'll have to see if it can push us above this level. And there you go. That is about it on Bitcoin for the most part here, guys. I do want to take a look here. And again, with the higher time frame red dots that we looked at yesterday now being actually printing on the chart, we do have to be open, right? Like, we don't get automatically super bearish on a dump like this, although we are making money off of it. I'm also not super bullish off this long that we're in, right? These are very small trades. These are in the grand scheme of things, scalp trades, right? That could potentially turn into more. Essentially what I do here, guys, is I simply look at the grander context of the market, right? And then when I know I'm hitting key resistance, this is where I zoom into the lower time frames to find the actual entries that I just went over on the Bitcoin, on the short here from the high. We just break down price into multiple volume profiles, use this as our guide to where price is likely to go in the long run. But to find the entries, we simply zoom into the more local price action, look at the more local volume profiles. That way, we can know if we're, if we're selling in a smart place, right? Like, are we getting a good entry into this trade? Is there a reason to actually take the trade here? It's all about breaking the market down into different contexts, right? So there you go. We'll have to see what happens. Maybe we'll see one of these trades do something. Maybe we'll get stopped out. Maybe we'll get it to play out big time. We'll have to see what happens. Maybe we'll get a move here on the live stream. But other than that, guys, that is the local price action. And not only that, but exactly what I looked at to enter these trades alongside the premium Discord. And I like to share that with you guys on these live streams, because although you're not there by my side, or I'm not there by your side as we take these trades, I like to at least go over it to kind of explain to some people who might not have the money to shell out for a premium product, right, to do it alongside us. But I like to explain kind of what I see, right? The whole point of this live stream is to be educational, to help you guys turn into actual profitable traders who make money trading, and don't just, short the bottom and then long the tops, right? That's not what you want to do. So we'll have to see what happens here. But as far as money flow and those higher time frame red dots, guys, we do have to potentially anticipate some more downside, but that doesn't mean that we can't profit off these little long positions in the meantime. So let me go ahead and pull up let me pull up Blowfin here really quickly. So here we are. Here is the Ethereum short. Now, I have taken profits on this already. For some reason, I don't know if you guys have seen. I don't know if you guys can you guys see this? Hang on. There you go. Now you can see it. I hid it in the market. It was hidden on the market update. But I have taken profits on this. For some reason, I can't figure out, like, Blowfin doesn't show you your realized profit, so it just, like, takes it off of this. But we're still up to $1,200 up on this little ETH short, up 351%. Not too bad. And then here is that little scalp long on Bitcoin. It's barely even started to play out, already up $340. These are very small positions for me personally. This is a smaller account. I only put, I think, like $1,500 in this account, maybe $2,000 in this account. So this is a smaller account, right? And I want people to realize, if you are out there and you think that you need a ton of money to make money trading, please let me be the person to tell you that is simply not the truth. I only put in $468 of my own money into this trade, and only $400 on this Bitcoin long, right? So that is $400, almost double your money in a few hours, right? Or I guess a day, you'll call it. And, obviously you have to take this profit to make the money, but it just goes to show you that you do not need gigantic moves to make a lot of money. All we needed was Bitcoin to burp, and we were able to make $350, right? And this is, I don't want to push anybody to use irresponsible leverage. Leverage can be extremely risky. Let me say this out front. Leverage can be extremely risky, but if you understand how to use it correctly and you understand how to use it as you can actually use it as more of a risk management tool, right? But I know a lot of people out there are not dealing with $15,000, $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 trading accounts. So I like to show you guys that you could take $400 and double it in one day without gambling on a meme coin. You could do it by using sound analysis and good risk management. You're not going to win every single one of these trades. You're going to get stopped out of probably many of your trades, right, for a long time. And even when you're profitable, you are still going to lose trades. But if you gave me $500 and said you have nothing else to do, right, you have no other option, you have to use this $500 or you can never trade again. Now, is there a chance that I lose the whole account? Absolutely. Even as Frankie Candles, I can lose that whole account. But based off the way I manage my risk, it is very, very likely. It is very likely that I'll be able to slowly grow that account because of what I know, right? And that's what I'd like to teach here every single day. So do not feel bad if you do not have a $25,000, $100,000 account. You don't necessarily need that to make good money, right? I mean, $350 in a day, I could close this right now. I used to have to work an entire day, like do actual physical labor and work an entire day for $350. And now we could just get to finesse these markets every day. And these are our small trades, right? So you can do this too. I am here to tell you that, and not only tell you, but grab you by the hand and show you exactly how. So with that being said, shout out to Blowfin, guys. I do believe, shout out to Tony D. Let us know. I think we do still have some spots open for the Blowfin promotion. I believe we do have a running discount that Tony D was working on. If you guys want to sign up for Blowfin, I know a lot of people are having trouble with getting on exchanges. You can check the link in the description. I've been trading a lot over here. I tend to like it. And if you guys are interested, you can check the link down below or just go to blowfin.com and sign up. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Okay. How much leverage is that? 50x. 50. Yeah, these are 50x, right? So here's the thing, right? Let me explain this really quickly. So one is on 44x, the short is on 44x, and the long is on 50x, right? Now what I am doing with this, right? The reason this is on 50x, does Blowfin have 200x? I don't know. I never use that high of leverage tip. I don't usually use that high of leverage. I don't believe. Let me see here. I don't know how high the leverage goes. 150x, pretty close. But let me explain this, right? Because I would never recommend that a completely new trader jump into the market and start using 50x leverage to just long and short the market, right? You're not going to make money doing this if you don't understand what you're doing, right? Now, there were plenty of times in my life where I was making 50x trades and they were getting liquidated and liquidated and liquidated, right? But I am not in a position where that is likely to happen now for two big reasons, right? Number one, I would stop myself out of this trade before I got liquidated. Also, based off of my accounts and I don't know who keeps calling me. Based off my accounts and how I trade, these are very, very small positions for me. So I do want to be clear. Like I don't plan on getting liquidated. Like if this starts dumping and it breaks certain levels, I will stop myself out manually. And if I go to sleep tonight, you bet your bottom dollar I will have a stop loss set. So if it stops me out overnight, I will get stopped out, probably in profit at that point. But I want to be very clear. The reason this is on 50x leverage is this is the difference between using leverage as a tool and using leverage as a gambling outlet. This is not what we're doing. It was not, I think we're going to bounce here, crank up the leverage and long, right? But what this is, the reason I'm okay using 50x leverage on this trade, guys, is because when I entered this trade, it was based heavily off of a swing failure pattern. Why is this important? Well, very simply put, the reason that this is important is because this SFP gives us a very clear invalidation point for our trade, right? As soon as price breaks below that wick, that is my stop loss, right? I don't have to be like, oh, I want to let it play. Oh, I want to give it a little bit more room to breathe. I don't have to do that because when you take a swing failure trade a trade based off a swing failure pattern, I don't like calling them swing failure trades. It sounds weird. But when you take SFP trades, the beautiful thing is not only are they high probability, right? And just to show you, right? SFP insta dump, right? And then a little consolidation, and then another insta-dump. SFP, sure, we didn't get a huge move. I mean, enough to make 350, right? And we get into the SFP, insta-pump, right? Not a giant one, but you instantly reverse, right? This is the nature of a swing failure pattern based off of based off the theory behind a swing failure pattern, right? I won't explain it all today. We go into this very often. It has to do with liquidity grabs, and I have tutorials on exactly how I trade these. So again, tons of free value on this channel, guys. If you're interested in how to take these trades, and what to look for to actually enter them, you could check the tutorials on the channel for 100% free. But the reason, look at the risk on this trade, right? My risk to reward, even if it didn't hit final TP, right? Even if it didn't hit final TP and we just hit this as our final TP, right? Which is my TP1 technically. Look at the risk to reward here. I could lose 5 of these trades and one of my winners will pay me out and make me money, right? So if we got stopped out here, I'm not going to get liquidated for $400, right? I'm going to get stopped out, I don't know for how much, but I would get stopped out for a much smaller amount of money than $400. And that is why this is not degenerate, right? This is well thought out and well managed. I would not just be taking a random trade with 50x leverage. You guys know, oftentimes when I take my bigger trades, if they're not based off of SFPs or anything like that, I do tend to use lower leverage, right? Even this on Femex, this is the long position that I'm in from the bottom of the value area low. It's only on 10x leverage. I think you guys can see that. It's only on 10x leverage, and to be quite honest with you, 10x is kind of high for me. Like I said, this Blowfin account is a bit smaller, so I am replacing the lack of capital in this account with leverage, right? But because I'm managing my risk so tightly, it makes it not degenerate, right? Because I can lose 5 of these trades, and then one of my winners will pay me out. So hopefully that makes sense. I want to be very clear about that because I don't want anyone seeing that, oh, Frankie Candles is on 50x leverage, 44x leverage. That's degen. I can do that. No. This is well thought out and on purpose, right? I am not degenerately using 50x leverage. I am using that leverage as a risk management, not a risk management tool, but a leverage tool, but in the correct manner, not just blindly trying to triple or quadruple or 50x my money. It's all calculated. But it's very important, right? We talk a lot about this in the premium. But anyway, by the way, still holding the long from the value area low here, still up a decent bit. I actually low key when I went to enter my my scalp trade or my scalp long that I'm on that I'm in on Blowfin, I accidentally, I have so many exchanges open all the time. I accidentally added to this long position on that SFP, and then was like, oh my god, no, why did I do that? I added to my position. Hopefully we bounce. Obviously that one's deep in profit with profits taken in, with profits already locked in, and then I had to come back over here and re-enter the long position on this exchange, and actually got a little bit worse of an entry. I didn't snipe the exact bottom, but 64.3 was basically where is it? It's like right, yeah, 64.3, close enough. But yeah, that little miss there was from that added position. So now that's a $54,000 position. But that's the thing, guys. The reason I don't use as much leverage on other exchanges, right? I have other accounts, right? Not even the ones that only the ones you guys see. I have other accounts that you guys never even see, personal accounts that you guys never even see. But on an account where I have 25 grand in it or 50 grand or 100 grand in it, these I don't need as much leverage on a trade, right? Like if I have an account with $50,000, I am not just going to use 50x leverage on that too, right? Because I don't need to. Anytime I can replace leverage with actual capital, I will do that because it lessens my probabilities of getting liquidated. This is very important to learn if you want to make money trading, especially if you're going to use leverage. Leverage is a shiny object that everybody sees. Money signs go into their eye. They see money signs, and they're just like, oh my God, I can put $1,000 in, put it on 50x leverage, and now I have 50 grand. That is an extremely dangerous way to do it. I do not recommend it. I'm not a financial advisor, but I do not recommend doing that. You will likely lose all of your money. So just want to separate those two things because they're completely different. So with all that being said, let's see. All right, let's see. I think that's what you meant. Shout out to Tony D. I'm not 100% sure what you're talking about. Shout out to Tony D. Let's see. Yeah, shout out to Mad Shit 50x. I think it's supposed to say with how much on the bet. That's with $400, right? So I put $400 of my own money on that trade. Where'd it go? I lost it. There we go. I put $400 of my own money on that long position. I put it on 50x leverage, right? Making it a $20,000 position, right? And that is now up 80%. I am up $330, right? Very simply put. And I just know that if I could teach one person on these live streams, one person, if everybody else, if I could teach one person here, one Mafia member, a month, a day, a year, I don't care if I only get to help one person ever again. If I could help one person figure out how to do this and change their life, be able to eventually fire their boss, right, and then live life on their own terms, trading and making money off of this magical internet money, that is worth it for me. I will work every single day if I knew I could only help one more person. So there you go, guys. And that's why I like to be as detailed and educational here as possible. So there you go. Me. Shout out to AI Music. Al Jr. said, Frankie, happy Tuesday. Would you happen to have a video tutorial talking about taking partial profits? It would help greatly. I keep closing my whole position when I go to partial TP. Thanks, man. Shout out to Al Jr. Well, first off, I just want to say, pat yourself on the back because you're ahead of 90% of people because you're taking profit. So pat yourself on the back. Just understand there is always going to be another step. So take the win and then just take it as an extra learning opportunity. Be like, okay, I nailed this. Now let me move on and learn the next step. Don't feel like you're doing something wrong by closing your complete position at partial TP, right? Because what you could be doing is not taking any partial TP, waiting for the final TP, and then it just goes against you and you lose all your money. Real quick, hang on one here. Shout out to Golden, bro. I see a $50 super chat from Golden, bro. What is going on? Shout out to Golden. You're an absolute legend, bro. And Creighton C. I missed a couple super chats. Golden said, until you get a new chair, I will be sending the memberships to Randy Hipper's channel. I hope you understand. It's not you. It's the chair. We can still be friends. I still care about your TA. Don't call me. I'll call you. Okay, bye. Yo, shout out to Golden, bro. Golden, if you never gifted anything to this channel ever again, you are still a made man, my friend. So shout out to Golden. Thank you for the super chat, bro. You are crazy, man. And shout out to Creighton C. Thank you for the super chat as well. He says, lazy boy, best chair, and classy. It reclines. It reclines, it spins, and has a built-in fridge. Dude, you have a lazy boy with a built-in fridge? Sign me up. He said, just lay back, do TA on your phone, like me. It's why I'm successful. It's why I'm successul. Make a trade, SFP, open a path. Yo, Tony Taco me. Yo, shout out to Creighton C, bro. That does sound like a pretty good life. Just kick back, open the fridge in the recliner. Tony. Actually, would Tony throw you the? I feel. Well, I don't know. Shout out to Creighton C, bro. That's a good idea. How funny would it be if I did all these live streams from a lazy boy on my laptop, like in my living room? Just like that'd be actually. Maybe we should do that one day. It's like a chill TA in the kitchen or TA in the backyard or something. I don't know. But anyway, guys, let's go ahead and continue on. VW John said, Rob and Tony, when are y'all putting these videos in a course like? Do Frankie Candles University for real. Shout out to VW John. That may or may not be in the works. But I don't want to put a time on it. We want this to be, if it is going to be a thing, we want it to be like our flagship product, and I want it to be as good as possible. So I'm not going to put a time frame on it, but we are in the works of getting something like that potentially together. But yeah, shout out to Shahab. Hopefully I said your name right. I apologize if I didn't. He said, is 64K in the cards? Let's go ahead and see. So if we zoom out here just a little bit, pull up our higher time frame levels. Whoops. Come on. There we go. We'll hide these. Pull up our higher time frame levels. I would say 64K is in the cards, right? My next key levels of support, if we do wind up losing this POC, which we are now above, but if we wind up breaking below this POC and losing it decisively, I will be looking for a move down to that golden pocket, which is sitting at about 64,675. If we lose that golden pocket, the bottom of that golden pocket, 64,240. But if we lose that, we could potentially even come down to this zone, Shahib. Again, I hope I said your name right. 63,335 down to 62,575. So I'm not necessarily saying we're guaranteed to get down there, but 64K is not completely out of the cards. I'll say that. And the kind of line in the sand or the thing to make me expect that to come in would be the loss of the POC. right here. Specifically the POC at 66,961, almost 67K. We lose that, can't get back above. That's where I'd look for the 64,000s to come in. So there you go. That is what I'm looking at on Bitcoin, guys. But now let's go ahead and jump into Ethereum. But while I'm doing that, go ahead and smash the like button and drop and spam your altcoins. If you want to see them, spam them in chat. Rob the Crypto Snob drop. We'll count up the votes and let us know what ones we're looking at. Rob, let's do like 3 requests, and then maybe we'll do some freestyle requests as well. But let's see. Yeah, shout out to Al Jr. I will actually write that down because we're trying to reformat some of the content schedules here as far as like the pre-recorded stuff. So I am taking ideas. Partial profit pre-record. Shout out to Al Jr. Putting you in there, bro, because if I make the video, I will shout you out for giving me the idea. But anyway, spam those altcoins right now, and I will go ahead and jump into Ethereum really quickly here, taking a look. As you guys can see here, yikes, oh boy, this is sketchy. So let's go ahead and jump in here and take a look at what we got going on. So number one, first thing I want to say is, there was a very specific reason I was looking to hold my short for lower on Ethereum, and it had something to do with market structure. Right now, as we look at the daily time frame, wow, we just hit that daily smart trail, so that would be important support. But as we looked at price action here, guys, on the daily, we had this bearish change of character right here. Now, this lets us know that we may be ready to flip into a bearish trend, which means that any pumps to the upside are going to be lackluster before turning around and continuing the trend to break structure back to the downside. And this is exactly what we saw happen. Now, this is not just because my special analysis or my special indicator or anything like that. Shout out to Lux Algo for marking out this. This indicator is Lux Algo's price action concepts. This is part of their premium suite. If you guys are interested in checking that out, you could check the link in the description down below. I use it every single day on top of their other indicators as well. But basically, what we saw happen here, guys, was that we saw that bearish change of character, giving us more of a bearish bias or making it higher probability that we will see that return to the downside to break structure and continue the downtrend. And this was a big reason on why I was looking to hold my shorts. We actually were looking for a potential retracement up to this golden pocket where we could have looked for a fresh entry, but price did not even want to do that, right? Just kind of wiggled around here. We kind of went for a retracement and then just absolutely dumped. Now, the question is, how much lower can we go? Now, we've obviously lost this range, and we've even broken this low, which is definitely Shade City. This is a bit sketchy, guys, because as we look at price here, let me pull up this other Ethereum chart. Let me pull up this one. Bada boom. So this is the chart that I was looking at on the market update earlier today, and this is, we're getting down to the danger zone here, guys, because I want you guys to notice we have most of our volume trading up here, right? And then the other high volume nodes are kind of sitting down here, but in between we do have somewhat of a gap. Now, this is important to realize. It is not just a massive volume gap, right? We do have little spikes in volume here, right? You have little high volume nodes. We also have quite a few daily naked points of controls below. So there is support below, but I will say, once you lose these naked points of control, it does put you at risk for filling this entire gap to the downside, right? The gap really starts here just below this daily naked point of control, just under $3,400. And then, sure, once you lose this level, you have this other daily naked point of control. But really, it's not that you can't stick these levels, but these high volume nodes down here are going to act as magnets, right? And when you don't have a lot of volume in between, sometimes you can get sucked through that zone. And, more simply put, quick moves up oftentimes could lead to quick moves down. And this is literally what we were talking about yesterday on Ethereum, saying, hey, like if we keep breaking down and we break these lows, we could see that quick move to fill the rest of that gap. But we do have those levels. It is worth mentioning. These are exo chart naked points of control. So they are strong levels, but, just looking at the volume here, there is a little bit of a lack in volume there. So with that being said, on top of that, guys, we are starting to lose our POC of the range. And, although you could have looked for the short up here at the value area high, as we lose that local range here, we are now, as we lost that value area low, we were also getting accepted. Come on. We are also getting accepted back into, let me drag this to the current price. We're also getting accepted back into our more macro range. And once you can't get back above that value area high, where's the next place for price to likely go? Right on down to that point of control, which also had a confluence with that spider line. We looked at that yesterday. So if we don't hold this level, guys, I would say, although we do have these other key levels of support, I would say this is the zone. This blue box sitting between $3,470 and $3,500 is definitely going to be the level that you want to hold. Because if you don't hold this level, you could be breaking into that volume gap. The nice thing is, I want to say that I want to be very clear. This is not necessarily one of those super alarming low volume gaps, because we do have some volume in there. And if I pull this previous value area down here, right before we wound up breaking out, it's actually not even that confluent, to be quite honest with you. Yeah, never mind. I mean, this would be this value area high would be worth looking at. But yeah, I would watch out here. You definitely want to hold these levels. So you want to stay above that blue box, or the blue box between 3,500 and 3,470. Now we also do have signs on Market Cipher that we were looking at yesterday that was anticipating more of a pullback. 10-hour money flow crossing into the red, very similar to Bitcoin. 8-hour money flow crossing over into the red, very similar to Bitcoin. 6-hour, 5-hour, right, still in the red. 4-hour is now in the red as well, right? So when we see these, more specifically the higher hourly time frames start to come out with money flow like this, that is somewhat alarming. And I don't mean alarming, right? I don't want to say alarming because I'm not worried, right? Like, this doesn't scare me. These moves do not scare me. I just capitalize on shorting them, right? But, if we're going to get below that POC and not be able to get it back above it, and we're going to see a big drop down to the 2900s, and we're just going to simply complete this range, and maybe it gets boring for a while, that is going to scare a lot of people. Like, this would not be ideal, right? A lot of people are going to freak out. Although, I wouldn't really be like super scared. But nobody really wants to see Ethereum take that big of a tumble. So we got to get back above that POC. It's very, very important support. I can't stress that enough. Bitcoin and Ethereum are both at very important support. If we cannot reclaim these key levels that we talked about, not only on Ethereum but Bitcoin, we can't reclaim these levels, guys. Could see a bigger move down. And even if we do reclaim these levels, we still have to be aware that if the money flow continues out here, money flow indicates the longer term trend, right? So if the 10-hour money flows cross over into the red, I have to. And this is not even keeping in mind that we have the bearish change of character, right? Also, this the daily smart trail. This daily smart trail, the fact that we're coming down here is a little bit decent, right, for support. But that's not even considering that we have our bearish change of character here, right? So, when you have money flow on we'll go back to the 10-hour, not only do you have money flow coming into the red, but you also have that bearish change of character just letting you know the market structure is shifting. And if we know that when money flow comes into the red, we're treating bounces as lackluster moves to the upside, right? So when money flow is pointed into the red or coming into the red, it's letting us know that the trend is likely to continue down. But trends have retracements. So we could easily see a retracement on Ethereum, and even if we get above that POC, which is sitting right here, and we get that retracement, we're still, as long as money flow continues into the red, we are still at risk of putting in a lower high and continuing back to lower prices. Very important to realize. But now you have all the key levels to the downside. Here it is, all for free. Screenshot it if you want, and there you go. All right, let me go ahead and take a look here. Shout out to K Diggity. What is going on, brother? He says, my alts are like bad children. I don't even want to see their faces right now. Shout out to K Diggity. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't really check my hodl bags that often, so I don't know how down bad I am. But no reason to no reason to look at them if I know they're down. And I don't plan on selling my alt anytime soon. So if I take a big dump, I'm willing to just buy a little bit more. Believe it or not, I do still have some dry powder left. And yeah, so we get the one thing I will say, guys. Even if we get the drop down to this value area low, even if Bitcoin comes back down to its macro value area low, I will say this. Like, if we come back down here, guys, like, I'm not scared, right? Like, this is, like, not the most horrific thing ever. Now, can we start to look lower if we come down and leave this range? Sure. But I'm not necessarily, worried about the bull market or anything. If we're going to get a massive dump to the downside, guys, and it's going to be bad, if we're going to get, like, a real crazy move down like we had in 2020, as you guys know, obviously, March 2020, we had this big drop right before the halving, but we got a big drop right before the big bull run. essentially, but there was a Black Swan event attached to that in March of 2020. I think no one really needs to, be told what was going on there. But if we are going to get a massive move down and do what we did in 2020, which was basically retrace to the macro 786 level, right, from the low to the high, that was the bear market low all the way to the bear market low all the way up to our bear market rally high at about 14K. Price went back down and then capitulated, right, before finally grabbing support back on that 786. Calling for that bigger move to the upside. Now, if we were going to do something similar to that, I'll be honest, we are in a different situation right now, right? And just because it happened in the past does not mean that it's going to happen in the future. Now, if we were to get that catastrophic dump to the downside, guys, technically, if we were pulling... if you pull from the low to the high, now this is definitely different, right? I want to be very clear about that. Like, we didn't make a new all-time high. Like, we are not in this position here, right? We have already made a new all-time high. So we're not in the same position. But if we were just to go back down to that macro 786, that would bring Bitcoin down to 27K. And technically, actually, you know what? I would say that would probably be more like $34,000. So if we did wind up getting a big dump to come down here to that, $41,000 to $32,000 level, I think that would have to be assisted by a Black Swan event, especially if you came down, for some reason you were pulling it all the way down from the bottom here and you were looking at 27K. Like, guys, in my opinion, we would need some kind of a crazy Black Swan to get that to come in. I don't even know if the Black Swan could bring us down that much. At this point, that would be a 57% dump, right? What did our 72%. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's not impossible, but we are definitely in a different situation. And the only reason I'm even bringing this up, guys, is because if you've been watching the news, there is some pretty crazy stuff going on right now, right? It's actually pretty scary. So, if any of that stuff does, geopolitical stuff ever does wind up coming to fruition, that could easily, if something like that happens, then sure, a gigantic dump could happen, right? But again, I would still be watching these zones, right, for potential buy the dip scenarios, because remember what happened during 2020, right? Everyone was super scared, but that was literally just your last chance to get in before the actual move. And sure, if the WW3 were to break out, that might be a different situation, but understand that typically those situations are bad for the markets initially, but after a while, it does wind up turning out to be very, very good for markets, and potentially in a situation where we may see the US dollar in trouble and banks start to struggle, that may add a little fuel to the fire to your sweet old digital assets. So with that being said, let's go ahead and continue on. We took a look at Bitcoin. We took a look at Ethereum. We took a look at all the trades. We broke down exactly why I took them, so you're ready on the next one. And we gave the key levels. So let's go ahead and break on into those altcoins real quick. Let's go ahead and grab Rob the Crypto Snob. Thank you for those, brother. I appreciate you. So our first altcoin for today technically was Ethereum, but let's go ahead and move on into Bonk. Shout out to our boy Craig. Can't be thinking about WW3 and then try to write Bonk. That was definitely what just happened there. Anyway, who was watching what I was typing? Anyway, unbelievable. Let's go ahead and take a look at Bonk here. Take a look at the Binance Tether US chart. And let me just pull up our current chat. Let's see. Shout out to Chemistry Pro. Let's see. Okay. Let's continue on. Shout out to Elite Ways, said, I still love you, buddy. Just mad we're getting saturated with weirdos. What's going on in the chat right now? What the? Okay. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue on. So let's go ahead and... Okay, so let me go ahead and pull up Market Cipher B. Take a look at the weekly. We have anything here? Nope. Take a look at the daily. So your VWAP on the daily, your money flow is coming up, which is interesting. VWAP kind of starting to get rejected a little bit there. That is an interesting situation. Let me pull up the VPVR really quick. So, yeah, I mean, this is... I actually don't... Yeah, I would say let's take a look at some. Let's take a look at some of these fibs. So, okay. So you did get a nice, I'm going to take that VPVR off for a second. We did get a nice little 786 test here. So this would be important support in my opinion. Let me pull this range right here quick. Yeah. So this would be important support in my own personal opinion. Let's pull up Market Cipher real quick. Let's check that 4-hour. So you do have a bullish divergence here on the 4-hour into that 786 retracement level. This is not horrible. Lower lows on your price action, higher lows on your momentum waves. Money flow not as beautiful as I'd like to see it. Check out some lower time frames. Yeah, you do have some bull divs here. I really don't love the money flow, to be honest. Like 4-hour red dots confirmed. What's your 8-hour look like right now? Confirmed green dots. So you are getting bull divs here, but overall, your higher time frame money flow is coming out. This is a little bit more bearish in my opinion. In the long term, right? Doesn't mean you can't get some kind of a retracement, but as long as this money flow continues in the red, you have to understand that, those bounces to the upside are much more likely going to be lackluster for a lower high to come in and a continuation to the downside. Now, let me just pull this little upper range here because this, although it is wonky with that big breakout there, I would actually take this level or at least the value area low of that level. And I did not mean for that arrow to come right in there. But is this... Okay, I swear I didn't do that on purpose. But if we go ahead and check out this resistance here, golden pocket value area low confluence, if you did get a bounce here, I don't even really want to say I'm confident that it will happen. But if we do get that push up to the value area low golden pocket retracement here, this would be a key level of resistance. So shout out to Greg. I would check these levels as very important resistance. Not impossible to bounce with the bull divs here, but again, money flow is not lined up the way I like to see it for a fresh long position. But if you do wind up pumping, I'd be very careful here. And if I did approach this level, I'd be looking at the money flow. Is money flow still coming out? Is money flow coming up? What is going on? And does it look like we are indeed going to continue that reversal to the downside? And again, that's heavily based on money flow, but you could also use just simple market structure to identify the same thing, whether you should be more focused on looking for longs or shorts. Now let me go ahead and hide these actual, let me just do this real quick. Just to clean this up, I'm gonna hide the prices on that fib. But yeah, so if you do come up there, right, you have your change of character, right? At that point, any bounce you're looking for is lackluster to put in a lower high and continue your downtrend to break structure, which you did get. So any retracement to the upside would be considered lackluster in my opinion. And, if you're going to put a lower high in, it could be likely for it to happen at this level. Now, you do have other local fibs you can look at. You could pull your fib to more local swing points like this one right here. This would be another key level I'd watch. Feel free to screenshot that. But for the full retracement, I would probably be looking at this zone right here. So there you go. Shout out to Greg. Hopefully that helps you out. Not super confident there, but, the signs are there. It's just not beautiful confirmation like we're seeing. For example, on Bitcoin, 15-minute money flow, this is really what you want to see. Money flow comes up, right? As long as it does wind up crossing into the green, you want to see that money flow coming up with those bullish divergences with the confirmation of the green dot on the corresponding time frame, which in the 15 minutes case is the 4-hour. That is going to be what that looks a little bit more saucy in my opinion. So there you go. Volume is still low. Is it me? Am I talking lower? I don't know. Hopefully, I just raised it a little bit. Hopefully that helps. Shout out to Robert. Let's see. All right, let's see. Yo, shout out to Elite Ways. Who are you guys talking about? He said, you're a different type of, you're a different breed of weirdos. Lol, like me. I love you guys. These guys are just super weirdos. Sketchy. Shout out to Elite Ways. What is going on in the chat right now? But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on here. Let's see. Yo, you guys are wild. Yo, Wick said, Greg knows about the skivvy toilet. I don't know what that is. I've heard of that. I have no idea what it means. I think I'm officially a boomer. I'm out of the loop on that stuff. But anyway, guys, let's go ahead. That was bonk. Hopefully that helps you out, Greg, and gives you yeah, shout out to Greg, says it's going up and down on its own. Yeah, sometimes the meme coins, they do just tend to move like that. Shout out to Dennis. We can try to take a look at Pepe, no problem. All right, let's go ahead and move on to ADA. Shout out to the Cardanzo boys. Let's go ahead and see what we got going on here. So, yeah, nice little rejection off that value area low. Obviously lost that. I would say, let's see here. Let's pull up to the daily real quick. Nothing really to take away from that. 2-day. Yeah, I will say this, guys. A lot of these fresh red dots on the higher time frames, unless they disappear, right? Unless that 5-day red dot disappears, I would... yeah, unless that red dot disappears, I would be very cautious of some more downside, right? Now, it doesn't mean, right, we could look for more downside and still get a bounce, right, before getting the downside. So I want to be clear about that. It's very, very difficult for me to come up here and be like, hey, still looks like it could go down, because if someone doesn't understand how to separate the context of different time frames, they're going to be like, I thought it was supposed to go down. Why is it pumping? Meanwhile, that pump is just very clearly likely going to be a lower high and a continuation. So I want to be clear. You can bounce, right? But this is the 5-day time frame. These higher time frames take some time to play out, right? So maybe we get a retracement before we wind up seeing this play out, but with these high time frame red dots, I would definitely be careful. And then, yeah, taking a look here, I mean, money flow's been in the red for a while on ADA. This is kind of ugly, to be quite honest with you. Like, this money flow's been in the red for quite some time with, like, no turnaround in sight. So I would lean probably neutral, bearish in the long term or the medium term for Cardano. Let's check the 4-hour. Yeah, VWAP coming up on the 4-hour, but money flow is coming out. So maybe there is a little bit of a short-term bounce here. But let me go ahead and hide some of this TA. And actually, you know what I'm going to do, guys? I'm just going to go ahead and clear it, except for the naked points of controls. I'm going to get rid of all of these volume profiles, because I will redraw them as they become more relevant. But we have not updated this ADA chart in quite some time. So let me go ahead. And what I will do is I'll break this down into a little bit more of a local range, right? So I'm going to look at this in terms of the range right here, in which case, this is very, very clearly, let me go ahead and pull from the low to the high. Okay, we lost that 786. So this would be kind of the new local range that I would be looking at. Whoops, bada boom. Pull up the neutral, and let's do one of these. All right, let's see. Okay. So simply put, we are losing our value area low here. And this is typically where we like to look for longs. Now, do I see any reason to go long here? Not necessarily. Unlike Bitcoin, right, we don't have bullish divergences here. We do not have lower lows. We do not have higher lows on our momentum waves. We have lower lows. And is this a blood diamond on the 30-minute that I see? No, it is not. But we don't have the bullish divergences. We have lower lows. Maybe it's into a key level that we're not looking at right now, but there's no bullish divergence, right? So there's no reason, in my opinion, to go long here, right? For me, doesn't mean that you can't. But very simply put, the next key levels I would look at to the downside on Cardano are going to be this naked point of control sitting at 39 cents or 0.3922. So if we do wind up losing this, I would be looking at that as your next kind of area of support, or your next significant level of support. And I think that's where I'll leave that. Because again, there's no confirmations to go long here. So maybe, doesn't mean you can't come back up, but I think it would be more likely to maybe continue down, even if we get a retracement to the upside, especially with the way the higher time frames are looking. Now, we do have, on the higher time frames, you do have some... you have a little bit of a bullish divergence here on the higher time frames, right? So you technically, if this candle closes like this, you will have a lower low on price action with a higher low on your momentum waves. So this would potentially give you a bullish divergence. The real problem here, guys, is like I'm not seeing a very key level down there, right? Like it's not like we're hitting a weekly naked point of control or anything like that. I don't believe. Yeah, not really. I'll be honest. This daily naked point of control really does seem to be that next key level of support. It doesn't guarantee we come down to take it, but definitely a level if we do continue down. Like this is definitely going to be the next zone of support. Sitting between Like, I wouldn't be interested in a long position here on ADA unless we got a bigger move down to between 40 and 38 cents, or 38 and a half cents. So there you go, right? Do we even have a daily naked point of control? Like, yeah, like we're not even, I mean, maybe. Hang on. Let me go back in time here a little bit. No, never mind. It's not there. Yeah, we do not have any real key levels down here, in my opinion, right? Based off of what I look at. Maybe there's like a moving average down there or something. Like even that 786, we're losing it. Yeah, I would rather wait for lower on Cardano, to be quite honest. Doesn't mean we can't come up, but that's just my personal opinion. So there you go. And then if I were looking to trade this, right, I'd probably be looking at this local range between 48 and 43 cents. So there you go. Shout out to Cardano and the Cardano army, or the ADA army, or the Cardon bros, or the anyway. Let's go ahead and continue on here. Hey, Fitness First Mindset, what is going on? Says, what up, Frankie? Long time no see. Love catching up with the squad. What is going on, Fitness First? Welcome back in. Good to see you here. Bitcoin was sleeping for a little while, but she is back. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay, Cardon Bros, shout out to VW John. Shout out to you, brother. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue on to our next altcoin, which is going to be WIF. Let's check out WIF a bit. All right, let's go ahead and clear some of this stuff. Let me extend this profile. Whoops. Yeah, bada boom, there we go. Actually, I'll keep that target up there. I'm sure that was a Fibonacci extension zone. Let me verify that quick, and there it is. Okay, so I'll get rid of that for now. Yeah, I mean, here on WIF, I will say it is without a doubt. Shout out to you guys. No, I'm just kidding. Let's go ahead and pull up Market Cipher real quick. Bada boom. So let me get some key levels here. So number one, you're at your value area low, right? And you are putting some bullish divergences in, potentially. This is the 4-hour, right? We may be able to confirm that bullish divergence on the 4-hour time frame, higher lows on our momentum waves, lower lows on our price action, showing us that the price is still continuing down, but momentum and money is coming back in. So this is what warrants that reversal to the downside, and I will say it is happening at a key level of support. So could we get a continued bounce here? Potentially. I do think it is possible. Shout out to Wick, said, yo, these are great prices for alts, but I'm just so exhausted from buying last year. Shout out to Wick 589. Shout out to Elite Ways, says, I love the CandleMafia and its mods. Let's go. Shout out to Elite Ways. Alts almost at spot buy levels. Shout out to Nick. I don't disagree with you. Shout out to Wick, says, I hold zero WIF. Yeah, shout out to Elite Ways, absolute OG of the channel. Let's see. Yeah, Billy, I hold zero WIF. I also hold zero WIF. But bullish divergences here could give us the bounce to the upside. Right now, your key level of resistance is going to be your POC sitting right here at 280. Bada boom. Let me pull some naked points of control here for you guys. Nice confluence here on your weekly naked and your value area high. So that is nice confluence. Let's check the monthly. Do we have any key monthly levels? No. Let's check the daily. Shout out to Frankie Candles. Frankie Candles says, tune in at 9 p.m. for Billy Goat Tales. Link dropped in the chat. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Yeah, guys, go check out Crypto. It's obviously not me typing, it's Tony. But yeah, guys, go check out Billy Goat Tales tonight. One of the best, in my personal opinion, the best Twitter space on X. And it is the only Twitter space that's on X. Most of them are X spaces now. Billy's is the only Twitter space on X, believe it or not. But let's go ahead and continue on. Okay, so let me grab that daily naked point of control just under the value area. That's going to be a saucy level to watch. And then we also have the daily naked point of control just above. Make that a daily naked point of control, and then another daily naked point of control just above. And then, okay. So there we go. So let's turn that off. So these are definitely going to be the levels that I would be looking at. Let me actually label our value area high. our POC. Whoops. POC, bada boom, and our value area low. Bada boom. So there you go. If we deviate from this volume profile, I would definitely be looking at that daily naked point of control as a key level to potentially look for a long if we don't bounce off the 4-hour bull div that is forming right now. If you do bounce, I will be looking at the POC sitting at 280 for key resistance. And if we go ahead and pull some fibs, you can see we actually do have some confluence here with our local Fibonacci retracement and that POC. So I would definitely keep an eye on that. So that would be key level number 1. Let me change this to golden pocket only. So yeah, those are going to be the key levels of resistance, in my opinion. And then your key level of support is simply going to be that daily naked point of control sitting just below you at about $2.33. So 4-hour bull div may give you a bounce, but you got to be careful as money flow. Let's check the money flow on this thing. Yeah, money flow looks very similar to Bitcoin, crossing into the red on the medium to higher hourly time frames, which could indicate that the trend is likely to continue lower. So I would be, that's what I would be keeping an eye on. Those are the levels, and you have to be cautious of potential lower highs to come in before continuations down based off money flow. Very simply put, and just the local trend. So there you go. Hopefully that helps you guys out. Let's go ahead and jump on into it. Let's see, bada boom, bada bing. Next altcoin is going to be Ondo. Ondo. Shout out to Ondo. Take a sip of our Super U here. Shout out to this stuff. This stuff literally makes me feel alive when I feel like going to sleep. It's amazing. It's actually crazy how much of a good mood this puts me in, and how much energy it gives me. It's pretty wild. Shout out to Super U. I am not paid for this. Shout out to Super U. Our friend is the doctors that formulated this. I will say that. I do not get any repercussions from this at any point. I literally just genuinely enjoy this. It actually makes me feel great. And apparently it's healthy. Someone in the chat told me that it's healthy. They're like, oh, it's pretty much healthy pre-workout, which was good to hear because it is much more healthy than the Aztecian Cactus Moss Water we were drinking before. This is the new Aztecian Cactus Moss Water. Shout out to Greg. I can't say that out loud. But yeah, it is crazy what this thing will do to you. You guys are funny. Yo, shout out to Nick. Says, meme strategy, wait for all-time high and then short. Most are going to zero. Shout out to Nick. I mean, that's not an opinion. I would agree with that as being factual. Most meme coins will go to zero. Doesn't mean that a ton of them won't pump, but most of them will end up at zero. Okay, let's see. Let's continue on here. Taking a look at Ondo. Bada boom, bada bing. This thing is absolutely crushing in the long term. But let's see if we can't get some key levels. Let's start off with the naked points of control. Actually, let's start off with our market cipher analysis. All right, let's see here. Taking a look at the daily. VWAP kind of rounded off here just a little bit. 16-hour is printing a green dot. That's not too bad. Green dot printing on the 16-hour. So you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go down to that 1-hour time frame and check money flow, which is not necessarily confluent. We want to see the money flow curving up with that 16-hour green dot. Just like we looked at the 4-hour green dot and the 15-minute money flow crossover into the green, you can look for the 16-hour green dots and the 1-hour money flow crossovers into the green, but we're just simply not seeing that happen. And we also have our VWAP coming down here as well. So nothing really lining up on that front. But let's check the 12-hour green dot looking to print. Let's check that 45-minute money flow. This does look a little better. I would say if you are going to continue up here, which is not impossible, as you do have the bullish change of character, right? This is one of those situations. Now, I don't want to show this and then pretend like everybody should be taking this trade, right? This is not financial advice. You should never just copy a random trade. I am not taking this trade, right? I'm just showing you if I were to enter a trade, what I would look for to enter. But as we look here, not only do we have a bullish change of character, when you have a bullish change of character, what are you going to look for? And I like to use the colored candles here on Lux Algo's price actions concepts. But when you get the candle color change to green, it's letting you know you have a bullish change of character. What do we do at this point? Very simply put, we will pull our fib, right? And then you look for price to retrace into your golden pocket 786 retracement. The idea is, hey, we got to move to the upside. The trend is likely changing, but don't long the top. Wait for the pullback and get entered in on a higher low. How much better would it be to get into a trade over here rather than entering here and then just instantly getting stopped out, right? You have to be patient to enter these trades, and I won't lie to you, right now, this is exactly what I'd like to see, right? Change a character. Now I'm sitting on my hands waiting for a retracement. Sometimes you don't get the retracement, and sometimes price leaves without you, and that is okay. But when you see that change of character, I sit on my hands, I wait for the retracement, and I look for the golden pocket 786 that I want to enter on, which is pulled from this low all the way to the high. And when you have that Lux Algo Smart Trail in between the golden pocket and the 786, it is the chef's kiss for a fire entry, in my own personal opinion. Now, I also look at other confirmations, but this is the entry strategy that I use when using Lux Algo. Shout out to Lux Algo once again. I think I already shouted them out, but check the link in the description down below if you guys want to check out any other stuff. They're absolutely goated, and you could use this strategy literally. I've shown these trades live before and broken down actual trades that we've taken using this exact entry strategy. We use it in the premium often. And let's just say you don't pull back all the way to this golden pocket. You could pull more of your local fibs, right? So maybe you pull from a more local higher low, and then at that point, as price pulls back, your smart trail will likely be in that zone as well. But that is what I like to look for. I like to look for the change of character, the pullback, and then I enter in on the retracement on a higher low to continue the trend. We like to confirm the trend is changing before we enter using this strategy. Sometimes we like to snipe the bottom. SFPs, you want to snipe the actual bottom of the wick, right? But if you don't get in at the bottom, right? If you're not in at the bottom of the move, you wait for the trend change and then wait for the retracement. Very simply put. We covered this many, many, many times. And I highly recommend checking that out. So anyway, that's what I'd be looking at. I think I just undid a bunch of stuff on OBS. Hopefully I didn't break anything. But there you go. Low-key, little freebie there. Not that you should ever copy anything that this whole trade, this whole stream is only for entertainment purposes, guys. I'm just some crazy guy on YouTube. But let's go ahead and continue on here. So, yeah, so for Ondo, I would definitely be kind of low-key be looking at that. Like, I kind of just gave it all away right there. But let me go ahead and give you guys some key levels. Let's pull some. All right. So let's see where our fib is. Yeah, right in on that 786. I don't hate that. I don't hate that, guys. Yeah, okay. I mean, listen, if you're looking at your local range, I would consider that, you already deviated. You are hitting key resistance, right? So another reason to look for the pullback before entering. But again, like, this isn't the most reliable range here. I wouldn't really base this off the volume profiles, because if I were looking at this based off volume profiles, I would be forced. If you look at this whole range, there's no real clean range to pull here, to be honest. I'd probably be more inclined to look at this one. In which case you are breaking back above the value area high. So if you can get an entry here on a retracement before a bigger move back up, that could get you that full rotation into the range. But I'll leave that little sauce that I dropped as the main TA here. I will pull up some of the important levels of support and resistance, though. So, yeah, I mean, very simply put, value area high. You have your weekly naked point of control. Bada boom, bada bing, bada bang. Pull that one down here. Okay. And then let's pull the dailies. No real important dailies other than down here. That's worth taking a look at. But other than that, guys, I would stick to the original TA here. Bullish divergences into the 786 may be an indication that you could change trends here and get a bigger move up. But, yeah, they're not the strongest. But, yeah, like, so hard to say. So hard to say. They're not the strongest divs. Money flow's not in the perfect scenario. But that's why I would definitely wait for the retracement, like I was showing earlier. But there you go. Those are the key levels that I would be looking at on Ondo. Market cipher a little chopped up on this one, to be quite honest. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Shout out to RPM87, said the savings with Frankie's link is a fire discount. Shout out to RPM87. And if you guys are interested in any of the discounts that we offer, like I said, Tony D likes to try to get the best deals possible for the Mafia. We don't just take any deals that come by. Tony always negotiates for better rates for you guys. But yeah, Lux Algo, we got amazing deals with them. Blowfin, if you guys are looking for an exchange, you can go to FrankieCandlesTrading.com. You'll see all our deals, or just check the link in the description down below if you want to check out how much you can actually save. Definitely go ahead and check that out. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue on. Shout out to Stubby says, how is that a divergence? Well, simply put, I mean, there's a few divergences on different time frames here. What is this, the 1 hour? So this is not a divergence, right? This is a higher high on higher low on your price action and a higher low on your momentum waves. But where you do have a divergence, it's kind of similar. It's a little harder to kind of spot just because it's such a harsh angle here. But there's your lower lows on your price action, and there is your higher lows on your momentum waves. So there you go. And you actually did have money flow coming up at first, and then it kind of just went flat here. But that is how that is a divergence. There you go. And it is also into a key level of support, which is likely why you came in and put a higher low in and then started moving back to the upside. So there you go. I don't necessarily trade these divergences. Like sometimes I will enter on a divergence, but more often than not, guys, like I am seeing the divergence as a confirmation, right? And then I'll either enter on a higher low or I'm entering on a swing failure pattern and or entering on an order flow confirmation, something a little bit more nitty gritty to enter on. I'm using the divergences more as a directional bias, right? So hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully there you go. Shout out to Stubby. Said, thank you, sir. No problem. I'm glad I was able to answer your question. That is why I'm here. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue on. Shout out to Adil. Says he sent a super chat, and I say, how the heck did I miss that? Shout out to Adil. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He was indeed correct. He said, Bybit chart volume profile pulled from the 1st of April to the 10th of May on ETH, then extended to now. Very interesting. Shout out to Adil. I will check that. Actually, let's see. Was that? I think, yeah, let's check that right now. Let's see. On ETH. Let's jump in. So let me jump on over to Ethereum. And he said the Bybit chart. So we'll go ETH. ETH. Bybit. April 2021 to the 10th of May, 2022. Let's see here. I don't know if we're going to be able to do this. Because I would have to be on the exact same chart as you, which is probably not likely. Let's see. 1st of April, 2021. I got to go all the way back. Bada boom. 1st of April. Okay. Well, doesn't look like I'm going to be able to find that. Shout out to Adil. I appreciate the super chat, bro. There are a bunch of different Bybit charts. Did he say the Bybit? Yeah, he said the Bybit chart. There are a bunch of Bybit charts. I'm not sure exactly which one you're looking at, but it's going to be hard for me to find the exact profile unless I know the exact chart that you're looking at. Believe it or not, there's actually like a ton of Bybit charts. But shout out to Adil. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you what. I will look at that. I will try to find what chart you're looking at. I will try to find that volume profile. We will bring it up either tomorrow or maybe even in the Discord. But with all that being said, guys, I think that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. I appreciate everybody for tuning in and sticking around till the end. Let's see. Bada boom. Let's see. Not the same without Golden, but we hodl anyway. Shout out to Nick. But yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Hopefully, just hopefully, we could get a continued bounce here on Bitcoin. But then again, I am kind of indifferent here as I am long from that exact bottom, and I'm also short, not from the top on Ethereum, but pretty close to the top on Ethereum. So just going to see where things go. Remember, we do have those high time frame red dots with money flow coming out, so we could potentially see more downside, in which case I will be keeping an eye on this more grandioso, right, is more large volume profile with the most bearish case in the next, coming, days and couple weeks. I would anticipate the most bearish scenario to bring us down to the value area low. And then once we start breaking below there, we could start to assess the situation and see if we should have our eyes set on lower. But as of right now, we are at key support. Can we hold it? We're going to have to find out next time. Maybe tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow. We got a lot of news coming out tomorrow, guys, so there's likely going to be a ton of volatility out there. So be careful. And with all that being said, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time, right here, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frank Candles YouTube channel. That's all I got. Shout out to Mont. Shout out to Curtis Neal. Shout out to Aziz. Shout out to Retro Mike, Nick, Crypto Kid, the NL Koala Gamer, shout out to you. We got Nigel in the house. Shout out to Crypto Independent. Shout out to Adil. Shout out to everybody in here. Shout out to Golden, even though even though he's worried about me. Shout out to Golden. But shout out to you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time. You know the rest. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
What's next for me, Joe? I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up from my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
I tried a deal. I was just sitting here as that music was playing, trying to find that exact spot on the charts. I ran out of time, but I will jump in and try to get that and show it to you guys tomorrow if I can find it. But shout out to a deal and shout out to everybody in here, guys. I'll see you next time. Pray for Bitcoin. See you guys tomorrow. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the roll, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out.